Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. This is for day 11 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. Here is the sketch we are doing. It is by Angie Saylor Elesic. I don't know if that's how you pronounce the last name or not. I'm sorry, Angie, if I mispronounced your name. So I am taking from it the idea that I have a border going around the edge, photo up here, title and journaling here, though I'm gonna flip mine. I think my photo is gonna be here and my title and journaling here, or I'll flip them diagonally. I haven't decided yet. Here is what I'm going to work on. This is a little bit of a sad page. When we were at the 9/11 memorial and the museum, I knew that that would be kind of a difficult experience, but I was okay. I was pretty good until we got to this exhibit called Drawing Meaning, and it was artwork of children, and this one especially really tugged at my heart, and that's when it's the only time I cried while we were there. A little girl named Alexandra, who's 3, drew this and had somebody write, "My daddy liked to play with me." And I want to make a page about that because it was very, very touching to me. So I've had this big stencil wanting to use it, and I tried it. I made a sample the other day, and here is what I made. And I got this idea of painting the squares from my friend MK, and I will do my best to find the video that was in. I don't think it was very long ago. Find the video that was in, and I will link it below. So be sure to go watch her video of her doing this with this stencil. She designed this stencil, and I purchased it from Scrapping Reflections. So I tried out 2 different paint sets that I have. One is this one, Koi Watercolors, the Pocket Field Sketchbox from Sakura. And one thing I love about this is you can take it places, because it even has a water brush in here. It has little sponges to soak up water, everything, a little palette, and all these colors. And then I tried these. These were a gift from my friend Carol, and I wish I could remember the brand that they were. They're just watercolors that come on these pieces of paper. And so I did some of each. The ones up here are from this set. The ones down here are from the Sakura. And I think maybe these are a little bit better quality watercolor. They just, like, this one dried especially grainy. I'm not sure why. But I'm going to use mostly these colors. I may bring in this darker blue and some of this darker gray, not quite black. And just like MK did in hers, I am going to go this way. And I will just fade from blues to grays to the dark, back to blues, etc. as I work my way down. And so on this, for here, I used this one, and this one, and this. So I created these with those 3 colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a few decisions here, and then I'll get started. As you can tell, I got started painting, and actually I reached up to turn my phone camera off because I didn't want to record the whole thing. No need to watch all of that. Well, then I realized it was already off. So thankfully I caught that before I finished the whole thing and didn't record any of it, because that would have made me sad. Not that there's any amazing content here, but I did want to include some of the painting. And so I just go back and forth between the blues and the grays and the black. I do add a little tiny bit of a more tealy blue and Some I add more water to, some I add less water to. I was not concerned about it bleeding underneath the stencil because there was nothing about this that was going to be, you know, like perfect lines or anything like that. So this was very easy, relaxing, and I had fun doing this painting. And I did use up just about all of 2 of the blues on this pack. I wish I knew what color these were. I need to do a little research and see if I can, I'm sorry, not what color, what manufacturer. They came in larger sheets and my friend cut them up and gave me some squares. But so I'm gonna do a little research and see what I can find. But anyway, I just went blue, gray, and then a little bit of blue in the bottom corner, which you will see here in just a moment. I'll be, I don't record the rest of all of this painting. And then I let it dry, I don't know, probably 20 minutes. It was not completely dry when I lifted the stencil, but I didn't want to use my heat tool. I wanted to let it dry on its own. And other than a couple little puddles, it was completely dry when I lifted the stencil up. It probably took maybe 15-20 minutes. And I just keep going between the colors. That one water is my dirtier water, and the other one is a little bit cleaner. I keep these on my desk, or near my desk. One stays on my desk, one is beside it. One was my mom's, and the other was my grandma's. So they always make me smile. I like to have them here to use. And then I pick this palette up and do some from there, and there is the final product. And as a nod to the sketch, I wanted to lay this piece of vellum down the center. And you don't see it much on camera, but in real life it does make the center look quite a bit different. And I only added adhesive beneath the photo there, and then later you'll see I add some toward the bottom below some journaling. So here is my journaling that I wrote out as practice, and then I cut some journaling strips with a die that I have. And I messed that one up, so I just grabbed another one. And my journaling says, going into the museum, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but I knew it would be an emotional experience. Throughout our visit, I was incredibly touched over and over by what we saw and heard. But this was the exhibit that made me cry. And now I'm going to make my title. I just used this punch from a yard sale. I think it was from a yard sale. I know I didn't buy it new full price. And I'm trying to decide if that piece of paper is long enough for my title or if I need to draw another one. So I measured across an average size letter, did a little multiplying, and I think it's going to be fine. So I pull off the letters and put them on this ruler just to get another idea. And then I decided I didn't want the tag to be completely stark white. So I just added a little bit of gray around the edges. Then I ended up with a little more gray in one place than I wanted, so I added a bunch more. Yeah, right there's where that happened. And I did a little splattering, though on the final one you can't really see it, so I might cover up the rest of the layout and do a little bit more splattering on that white tag, because it did not show up like I thought it would. And then I wanted something behind that white tag. This punch will punch 2 inches wide for that, which is what the white one is, but I wanted this a little bigger. And I have found that if you just put it in there just right and finagle it a little bit, you can create a shadow. So that's what I did there. I wanted the navy around it. First I was going to cut it, but then since I had a torn edge on the mat of the photos, I wanted a torn edge here as well. So that's going to go there. And I go ahead and glue down all my journaling strips, 7 in all. And I wanted that last one to be positioned right beneath the tag that I have the title on, because my journaling didn't quite fill up that journaling strip, but I didn't want to cut it a different length because all the other ones were the same length. I pulled some black and silver cord, and that's what I made the tie with there. And then there goes that. I wish I had moved it more to line up with the photo mat that it's beneath, but I didn't, and I don't think I can move it now. That's okay. And we're just about done. I did add some enamel dots. I'm not sure if I should have. I think I can get them off still, so I would love it if you tell me in the comments if I should keep the enamel dots or get rid of them. See, here I'm mulling it over. I sit there for a while, and then once I start, I have to put some more on, and I just don't know. I felt like it needed something, but I didn't know what. And I kind of still feel like it needs something, but I love the background. I just love what this page is about and the memory it holds for me. And how meaningful that moment was. So, in the description box will be a link to MK's site or video and the 30 days of sketches. I really appreciate you joining me. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you get to scrapbook something very soon. Bye-bye.